Hi everyone, it has been a while. I'm so sorry. Just looking at my notes on this page, I did this on the 4th of March 2019, so that was almost a year ago. My bad. I'm just now starting to get back into crafting, so look out for more videos. I do apologise for the break, but unfortunately life gets in the road of it sometimes. Anyway, I'm just preparing the background for my page now using Tim Holtz Distress Oxide inks and water. Now I'm just doing the same with the Distress Oxide ink sprays on watercolour paper, just getting some colours happening here and some texture on them all. So not a lot. I have put what I've used up on the screen in relation to the colours of the inks and the sprays. So pretty much picked raspberry, mermaid lagoon, wilted violet, fired brick, fossilized amber, peeled paint, iced spruce, and cracked pistachio. So pretty much that's all I'm doing at this stage, is just getting some colour down so I can cut out some flowers. So adding some water droplets there just to give it some texture, bit of interest. For all of you who saw all the fires and that around us over here in Australia, fortunately we were saved from any of that. The worst it got was a few days we had some really thick smoke covering our area here, so it was pretty much to the north of us and to the south of us. We had a couple of fires start in our area, but they were quickly got under control by the firefighters. So we are now going to feel the effects. I mean, that's the smallest effect that we're going to have of it. I mean, there was a lot of people that lost their homes, people that lost their lives, even the firefighters. It was just awful, and all the animals, but we're now dealing with floods, but we'll get by. The food, I guess, is the next thing that's going to increase in price because of the hardship that has been forced upon us out there. But anyway, so I just added some Liquitex ink then, some white, and then over some water, so it sort of spread around, and then I blew it around through a straw, and it gives it a really I like the effect that it gives. See how it spreads there and just gives it a bit more interest. So that was titanium white acrylic ink. So yeah, just thought I'd let you know that we were fine with the fires. Didn't affect us much at all. Not that we can say the same for others, unfortunately. I must be almost finished this. What am I doing here? I'm just adding more. So I have had the inks, I think, and the sprays on these pieces of watercolour paper. Now I'm doing the greens, the shades of green, So the others would have been for the flowers that I'm going to stamp and cut out, and the green's going to be for the leaves that I'm stamping and cutting out. And this is a stamp set that I don't know where I got it from. It's come, I think I've had it for years and years, so I'm assuming it may be either Papercraft or Kaisercraft. Don't know. But anyway, I've stamped them all. What have I stamped those with? I would have put it up there anyway. I think it was VersaFine Onyx Black ink. Yeah, it was. So I'm just using a piece of foam underneath that cardstock there. It helps when I'm stamping, particularly with stamps that aren't the best. So now I'm cutting out all these shapes, and I don't show it all, thankfully. So I think that purple shade looks really nice on the orange black background. So I'm using that same stamp for the leaves. So using the petals as the leaves. Alright, so now I'm just deciding how I'm going to have all these on the page. And once I do end up with how I'm going to have them on there, I take a photo so that I don't forget, because I can turn away and come back to it and lost it. So that's one way in which I can avoid that problem. And this isn't how it ends up anyway. I think I forgot it. I don't think I took a photo of that one, so next layout I do. And you'll see me taking the photo here in a second. Yep, there I go. Because I still want to do more to the background now before I adhere them down. So taking Tim Holtz's Flourish layering stencil and some more Distress Oxide ink. This is Wild Honey. Sorry, there goes a jet. And adding some Candied Apple Distress Oxide ink with the Dylusions number jumble stencil. And you do end up seeing a lot of this underneath the flowers. Now I just used the dot fade layering stencil and sprayed some water over the top of that and patted it down with a paper towel. And now rolling the paper towel over it, and that also gives it a bit of texture because it's textured. So I think that's about it for the background. So now I used some workable fixative on that, Krylon, and I sprayed 3 coats, and I had about a 20-minute break between each coat, and now applying some matte medium, and that will seal everything, and it won't allow the oxide inks to spread and ruin the pattern that I've got there. So I'm using Scotch Quick Dry adhesive, painted on with a paintbrush to adhere the flowers to the page. There I go, back to see where I've taken that photo and how I had the layout of the flowers. Probably wasn't the same, but anyway. just pressing the flowers down just with a bit of scrap paper. Making sure it adheres really well. Alright, so now I'm marking out the border. So I do like to have a border on my pages, not all of them, but some of them I do. And I'm just using Tim Holtz's clear centering ruler. And now marking every 1/4 of an inch by the look of it. I'm just using a Stabilo pen. I think that's what they're called, Stabilo, yeah, fine point pen, and that was a black. And using a Sharpie paintbrush or paint pen, paint marker there to mark out and colour in the white squares there. And I end up doing a couple of coats, and I use various brands of the white and black markers. So here I'm using a black POSCA paint pen. And I'll list all the products that I've used in the blog post, which will be linked below this video. So this time, instead of the POSCA pen, I'm using the Ecoline brush pen in the black. And now I'm drawing the stems of each of those flowers using what looks to be a finer point POSCA pen. And then I thought, to make it more defined, I'm giving it 2 coats of white gesso on those stems. And it doesn't matter that I'm going outside the lines because I go over it with a thicker POSCA pen. And pretty much all I do now is doodle. So this is it was a great page to do at the time, just to doodle and just play around mindlessly, just doodle without thinking too much. So I think I'll just put on some music for a while because I don't do much else except doodle, and I add the smaller flowers and doodle some more. So I'll be back soon. too long before another page comes up. Hope you enjoyed this one. If you liked it, press the like button, the thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I'm getting back into my videos now, so please subscribe and check out the blog post with photos and info about it all. The link will be in the description below the video. Thanks guys, bye.